Yo, guys, what's going on? So, people, we've we have got this day trade marked out on gold, but I'm going to go through the whole gold structure for the day and on my thoughts. Now, I'm just going to send the link into my Telegram. So, let me know if you've got any questions as well, and I can answer them to my best ability. So, at the moment, what we can see is that on the higher time frames, so we're going to start from the 4 hour. We were in this uptrend. So, like I was saying yesterday, so yeah, we're in this uptrend, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, or equal high, higher low, and then we've made a lower high here, and then we've made a lower low. Just so it's it's one of them that I think we have changed structure. The only thing throwing me off is we've got this nice 200 EMA floating above here, and we always get we're always bouncing off this level. If you look to the previous price action, we've always been bouncing off this 200 MA. So we could just see a little scenario, something like this over here, maybe. So we had the big drop off, chilled out for a bit, and then started to grind back up again. That's what I could see happening in this moment of time. But I think because we've had that market structure shift, I'm going to be looking for shorts today. So if we just we're going to get rid of everything here. I'm going to go through it all. So, like I said, we've made a lower low, sorry. So there's our low, right? So we've closed below it. So we have had through the night, we have had lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low, and then expecting this to be a lower high again, right? So with respect of that being a lower high, we're going to be looking for shorts for it to turn around. Now, based off my strategy, we have a lot of unfilled gaps, right? We do have a lot of unfilled gaps. Like this price action didn't come to fill the gaps that if I was trading I'd be waiting for, but we seem to be respecting the 220 EMA. I'm trying to get above that in this moment of time. But what I can see is we've got this big gap here. So I don't normally like big fair value gaps. So this is on the 15-minute time frame. So that's the gap on the 15-minute. But maybe we can go on the 5-minute and look at a more specific one. So we could see that there's a nice gap up there, right? There's a nice gap up there. So I did put a trade on in the group based off the 15-minute structure of the fair value, the order block, and the OME zone, the OTE zone, sorry. So that the entry would have been around 37, I put it at, so around this area here. But we can also see that we've got a gap here, so you could have, in this scenario, you could have two entries. So you could put, because it's going to be quite a big stop loss, you could put 0.02 lot over here, 0.02 lot on here, and then your stop would be above these highs here. So again, it's more of a day trade, this. Normally I'm a scalper, but this seems like a really nice day trade, a good opportunity not to be really missed. So you want to put your stop just above these highs here, because then that would mean break a structure again towards back up to the upside to make that trend back, to make it back bullish. And you want to target really the lows of the move. So if you end up getting in at 37 and you end up getting in at 47, your average entry is gonna be in the middle, so around 40, and then your stop loss is going to be at 75, and you're going to be targeting roughly a 1 to 2 or 1.7, depends if you want to wait for a an entry up here, or you want to get in here just in case it tanks before it gets to this 5-minute fair value gap, because obviously the 15-minute is going to be more respected because of it's a higher time frame, analysis towards that. Good morning, mate. How are you? Just going through basically what I'm seeing in the markets today. What I do like about this 5-minute fair value gap is we've got the 200 EMA just below it as well. So that's my take on it. We've got the fair value gap. We've also got this order block here, which also comes into play. So we'll mark that one orange, and then if we mark out the OTE zone from the top of the move to the lower of the move, it's actually coming in lower than these two, order block and the fair value gap. So that's what I'm saying with averaging in on this position, because on the 15-minute you've got the fair value gap here, and the middle of it would be at 37, and then you've got also the OTE zone, which is quite a big area, coming in around here. So we'll mark that in blue. So then you can average in, and you get the best of both worlds then, really, if you're averaging. So that would be my play for a day trade for today. A day trade that'd be pretty nice. So regards to, just got back from work. Nice, man. 26 yesterday. Go on, bro. Go on, bro. Yeah, so like we will be scalping today, but this is just my take on a day trade, really, on my thoughts on it. So we're gonna keep that there. Like the scalps, well, to be honest, we have just missed a scalp. It was really, really nice. So the scalp would have been right here. So, but again, it would have been so on the lower time frames, so on the 5-minute, we are in an uptrend, right? But then we've started to have equal highs and equal lows, so we're now in a range. So you could see that, yeah, the fair value gap here, your order block, and your OTE zone would have probably come into play as well. Would have come into play at the bottom. It's not the best scalp, but it would have played out nicely. You could have got tagged in, and then you could have got straight out at the top. Pretty much in and out within 3 minutes. But we'll look for some more of them today. But I want to wait kind of to see the direction. If this day trade starts playing out, then I'm going to be looking for shorts towards them, to them scalps, right? Because we've got, at the end of the day, we've got to follow the trend. So the trend is at the moment is down. you can see clearly it is down, and we're not getting strong pushes up. Like here, we've had two big red, or say three big red candles, one, two, three big red candles, and then we've had like what 20 candles, and it can't even meet the first red candle. So it's like what I call this scenario is elevator down and stairs up. So it's like um the momentum is down, and then you got it coming up, and it's really tired, it's not really that strong, and then it seems to fall over again, just like here really. We've had a big move down, slowly grinds up, and then rolls over, and then we get another elevator down. So that's what I'm kind of expecting here in this scenario, but we'll see. We'll see. But that's kind of it regards to gold, what I want to go over. We can go over, if you guys are interested on the Bitcoin chart, we can go over that. So on the Bitcoin chart, what I can see longer term is we're just consolidating in this, we're just flagging out after this big move to the downside. So obviously we've been going down for quite a while now, since October. So we are in a bearish trend, and then if you go on the 4 hour, we've had this massive downturn, and then we've consolidated. It's flagging out, so it wouldn't surprise me if we do get another leg down. I know it's like, well, it can go down more, but it can go down to an area of 50s, maybe like 48. So if it does break down to that downside period, then yeah, it's going to happen again. Probably something like this. It's going to happen quite fast. As on the daily, we are seeing times signs of topping out on the RSI, and we're still below that 20 EMA. So it is really, really strong for the bears to carry on that downtrend. On the weekly, we are seeing signs of a lot of oversold, an oversold period, and it's bouncing on this 200 EMA on the weekly. But as you can see in the last bear market, so this was the top, yeah, in the last bull market, and then we trickle down just like here, really, exactly. So this period here is like this period here, and we're getting the last leg down, and you can see it bounced off the 200 EMA, and it rolled over, and then we came below it, and then we stayed below it for a few months, and then we got back above it, and as soon as we got back above it, and then EMA flips again, bull market. So I'm expecting the exact same this time, just to go off what history is saying, really. History, it doesn't repeat, but it rhymes, right? So the saying of look what happened in the past, and it's not going to happen to the exact point, but it'll rhyme to the extent where it's going to happen in some sort of form in that way, right? So that's what we're kind of looking at. And we could go over, what else can we go over? We can go over silver if you guys want to go. I don't trade silver obviously because of the spreads, because it's just too high. I find it's just especially for scalping, right? So on silver we've got quite an interesting period, but like I said, like we've come down and we're just consolidating. So we're consolidating, but we are consolidating to the downside. Let me just get rid of that. So we've come down here. We've made a lower high, a lower low, a lower high. So I'm expecting a lower low. If we don't make that lower low, then obviously we could make an equal low, and it could just consolidate sideways for a bit, and to decide that direction. Obviously gold's going to be near enough the sort of same, but gold seems to be a lot stronger at the moment. It's hard. It's like, say, silver's like around this area here, so gold's been a lot stronger. But on gold now, it's hitting our. So we've had a big push up on gold just. So I want to see if this. So this has triggered an entry now, to get in on. So let's see if how it plays out, and then we will decide from there what the market's going to do today, right? if it's going to be bullish or bearish. But at the moment, all we can do is follow the trend, what's happened overnight and over the past day or two, and it's been bearish. So, but that's pretty much it. That's all I want to go over. I'm going to come back in the US session to go over the trades that we've had this morning, and then see if there's any trades in the US session as well, and see where that bias is, just to help you guys out to get a bit of guidance really on the market, and to guide your trades to see if you're in the right sort of trade or in the right direction. Try help you out basically the most I can, using my time that I've got. So I'm going to leave it there for now, and I will see you in the next video.